Alright, we're here. We're live. Maybe. Only took me forever and a half to get here because everything wanted to update. Alright, let me see. Let me post that I'm going live. I'm so proud of myself. I found really good music for tonight's stream. Okay, the one time I don't want you to highlight everything, and you do. I can't win. Also, I gotta do a sound check on YouTube. You know, I'm still amazed anything gets done. I also have to fix this bottle because it's off and it's bothering me, and it's been bothering me since I noticed it. Where are you, YouTube? Hello, hello. Oh, I think I'm coming in good. I'm not coming in at all. I think I'm coming in good. Oh, I am coming in good. Never mind. Not me about to adjust my mic being like, why am I not saying shit? Alright. Okay, so, this is a commission I'm doing for my, my friend Yin. She asked me to make her another flyer. And, I asked if I could paint it while on stream tonight. And the other cool part about this is we're going to be animating certain bits of it. I'm doing that because we're going to get rid of that for a second. Yeah, that bottle's off. I see it with my own eyes, and I don't know how to fix it. Oh, that's because it's leaning. It's like hardcore leaning. But yeah, so I got Persimmons to share the creative process. So I am gonna be sending her updates as I like paint stuff. She may or may not hop in on stream to make real-time changes. I'm not sure yet. But I figured we could have some, you know, chill music and just kind of vibe. That being the case, I also have no idea what I'm doing, but we're gonna make it work. Think, 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 think. Drawing huge titties always help. Well, unfortunately, there are no titties to be found in this drawing. Also, hey zombie! Shout out the homie. I need to, like, double check on the, the community points. I need to see where it's at. Come on. That actually feels a lot more balanced. No, that's where it should be. $4,000 to Dark Souls! Woo! Why does that still not feel straight? It looks straight. I wonder if... That feels better? Question mark? I'll scale it up just to be a bit bigger. Ooh, have it be like that, maybe? Oh, that's not what I wanted. This won't get it perfect, but... So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get the bulk of details laid out. Before I start doing like animation-y stuff. You can tell this is kind of bad, but that's why man made the eraser. Bottles have always been something that have, like, challenged me when it comes to drawing. Because I feel like I can almost never get them right. Well, a bird, bird, bird. Bird is the word. I said a bird, bird, bird. Bird is the word. So, did anybody hear about what happened with Disney? Disney apparently licensed 100 characters for OpenAI to generate AI images and prompts with for like a $1 billion deal. And I'm just like, are you kidding me? Disney, who sued a, like, dad for having Spider-Man on his son's tombstone. Disney, who would sue, like, pretty much anybody over the smallest freaking thing, right, is going to license their characters to be AI generated? What the hell? You know, and part of me is like, Fafo, my dudes. Fafo. And the reason I say that is because, actually, part of me wonders if I could color this entire, like, flyer with this one pen. It gets a little wonky at bigger sizes, though. Yeah, no. But yeah, like, it's kind of weird to me that they would do that, especially because it costs, you know, like AI money, like OpenAI money to constantly generate new stuff. You know, because it's not like a one and done thing. Like, people are constantly like regenerating, you know, prompts, responses, that kind of thing. Why are my brushes lagging out so hard? Hold on. Okay, let me see. Preferences. No, I'm on the correct, like, preferences I need for this. Come on. mean, I don't know why I'm coloring it anyway, because this is not... It could just be that I have too much stuff open. Ooh, coming. There we go. Yeah, I'll have to fix the color later. But that's 2 out of a bazillion. Yeah, so this is the rough design of what we're looking for, and I'm trying to think about the bits and pieces that I want to animate, that I want to make move. So, like, I know there's some stuff in this bird potion I want to animate. Maybe add some glow effects on the rocks. This little bundle of herbs. I know I want to make this pen kind of float in the air, but God, that bird potion came out so fucking good. So good, I love it. Alright, but to save my sanity, take off the book. Nope. Take off the bird potion, which means I get to do those potions next. Do, 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 do. Okay, let me pull up my references. Always have references. Even if you don't think you need them, you probably will. And it is better to have them and pretend you don't need them than realize halfway through the piece you probably should have had some. I'm debating if I want to make these two. So I drew these two rough potions the same, and part of me is wondering if I should make them a bit different. We'll see though. So a trick I learned with bottles are like circles and cylinders, but like a way to go from a bottle with like a big base to a bottle with like a smaller little thing is you use circles to represent the so like this is gonna be a poorly done freehand, but like you use kind of like a circle to represent the bottom, and then you use like another circle at like the midway point to represent like where the top of the bottle is, and then you just connect them, and that's how you go from changing bottle sizes essentially, like to shape bottles. I know that's a poor like free-handed version of how to do that. And so what we'll do is we'll have that bottle be right about there. I didn't like how that looked. Kind of looks like an upside down bell. Honestly, it probably would save my life if I just did a symmetry tool. I should have done it for the bird potion bottle now that I think about it, but you live and you learn. And then you cry. Oh, also, something I found super fun is that, live and learn and then get loves. Yes! So something I learned that I thought was really interesting is apparently, Uma Musume, the anime about the Derby, horse girls, apparently they've been going to, Bronco NFL games, and anytime a fan of Usu Musume, goes, the Broncos win their games. And I think that's such an interesting crossover between, anime and, where did it go? Where did the other one go? I think it's such an interesting crossover between anime and the NFL. The other thing of it is I saw a thing about, I guess PETA is going after that anime for some reason, for like supposed animal cruelty or something like that. And somebody was like, their lawyers are gonna mess you up. And other people are like, oh my god, don't tell me that an anime about horse girls is going to be the one that finally like takes down PETA. Please let it happen for the lulz. See, here's my thing. I am not a fan, or rather, it's not that how should I put this? I'm not a huge, like, horse person. Like, I like looking at horses from a far enough distance. I like pictures of horses, you know. But, like, as far as actually being in person near horses, I'm just like, no. No, thank you. No, thank you. But, and the other thing of it is I'm not into the Kentucky Derby, right? Like, I've never been into the Kentucky Derby. But because, Usume, the Derby Horse Girl anime is so popular on TikTok with, like, all of the edits that people do. I caved when I caved, like, relatively quickly, and I watched the first season, which, it has a really good storyline. For the first season, and I know seasons 2 and 3 are also really good. I think there's a third season, please don't quote me on that, because I don't know. But I know the movie has some of the most amazing animation, and they don't do the obvious, like, fan service ploy with, the racing girls, which I think is really interesting. But, like, it's based off of, a really popular gacha game in Japan, and they throw money at the animation. Like, throw money at the animation. It's kind of fucking cool to see how pretty it all is. But no, as a non-horse, girly, I caved. I watched the anime. I liked it. It was really good. But now I have the opening theme song on my playlist, and I was listening to it on my way home. I was just like, oh no. I have been captured. I have been captured by the horse anime. No. A long time ago, I had a friend who was really big in the Kentucky Derby, and, they had a horse, and they were like, hey, you know, one time when I get free, or when we have some free time when we go down to New Orleans, I'll take you to the stables. I was just like, no. Hell to the fuck no. No thank you. And it's funny because, like, my mom used to ride horses when she was younger. I have siblings that have grown up on a farm around, like, that's the other thing. I'm kind of sad to admit this, but I'm also low-key afraid of cows. Basically, any four-legged animal bigger than a Great Dane scares the absolute crap out of me. And, it's funny because my parents are like, oh, you know, they're just big dogs. And I'm like, no. You get kicked, you're gonna feel it. And, the argument is, oh, well, you know, like, a dog can bite you. A cat can scratch you. I'm like, yeah, but they're small enough that if I could, like, take them on, like, I got a fighting chance, right? With a cow or a horse, that's just, That's just nope. They decide to choose violence that day, that's it. I'm gone. Destroyer! What's up? How you doing tonight? Thanks for popping by stream. You having a good night? You having a great night even? I am well, and you? I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm just working on a, one of my small business friendos wanted a flyer from me, so I'm working on their commission. I know it doesn't look like much right now, because I'm currently in the middle of a bottle. But, I promise it's gonna be good. It's gonna be great. You having a good, crap, what day is it? Today is Saturday, right? You having a good Saturday? Or Sunday, or whenever? Whenever? Wherever? It's Sunday. Oh shit, today is Sunday. I'm sorry. I don't know why I keep thinking today was Saturday. How long have you been drawing? Stream for 57 minutes. Drawing in general, I've been drawing... Oh my god. I'm about to age myself. I've been drawing for about 20-ish years, on and off. Since I was a little fishling. I didn't start to pursue it seriously until very recently, so that's why I'm still kinda new-ish-esque. Can I ask you a question? Yeah, sure. Anything. We are TMI friendly here. I am an 18 plus VTuber. I'm not lewd per se, but I am lewd light. I'm like diet lewd, if that makes sense. So. Horny safe? Does a groin kick hurt a woman? I mean, I think it depends on the woman, honestly, because like we don't have dingly jewels like the boyos do. So it may hurt, but it's not gonna hurt us like the same way that it's gonna hurt the boyos, you know? I'd say if you have a low pain tolerance, it's still gonna hurt. Like, you're still gonna feel it. Does that help? think they go... Yeah, they go that way. Okay. God, that bottle is so pretty. So when we put it in comparison to the bird... Oh well, a bird, bird, bird. A bird is the word. I said a bird, bird, bird. Bird is the word. That's gonna be stuck in my head for a good while now. I love when I do cool shit. Oh, whoops. I forgot, I need a secondary. context with that bottle. And then in the context of book. Huh. That actually looks really cool. I know I labeled that we were gonna do animation stuff on this stream, and I may or may not get to it tonight, I'm not sure. We'll see. I do have to send progress reports to the commissioner, but I want to get this trio of bottles done first before I send them stuff. No, I didn't mean to put it in that folder. And then this last little green bottle will just be, you know, like a normal bottle. I say normal bottle and then I lie. Actually, if it was a normal bottle, it would just be a straight cylinder, huh? So it would go up like that. And then it would close. Can you tell I don't know how bottles work? BRB, gotta look for a bit. No worries. Take your time. I'm gonna be quite honest, I feel like I make these bottles a bit too fat. Oh well, it just means these bottles are more fun. You want to hold her? Yes. You want to please her? Yes. Then you got to have a little tenderness. Now, chicks love that romantic crap. I really need to rewatch the first Shrek movie. Called a cool irony, like my dependence on you. Actually, let's start with our big dots. And then it's two small ones. Or not small, but two like mid-sized ones. And then it's 3 tiny ones. I remember somebody saying that the trick to do like really interesting patterns is you do 1 large dot, you do 2 medium-sized dots, and then you do like 3 to 6 small ones around them, and it makes your pattern seem like it's more like flowy. Or more visually interesting. And that's always like stuck in my head. Because patterning is one of those things, like, to make it look like it occurs naturally is really hard. I'll actually make it like this light green. Alright, so we're gonna send it off for sketch progression. So we'll see what she says. I guess what I'll do is I will work my way around to everything. So, like, we'll do these crystals, we'll do this herb bundle, we'll do this ink and pen set, and then we'll do the candles. And then we'll see how everything looks in composition. And then we'll go from there. This might actually have to be a 2-part stream if I don't get to any of the animation tonight. We'll see, we'll see. So a lot of this is going to be straight edges. So this is where it gets really important to learn, like, how perspective works. Not that I'm, like, you know, amazing at perspective, mind you, but... Yeah, that back edge is, like, kind of hard. At the same time, though, the crystals are fun because they don't have to be, like, they don't have to be super uniform. Hmm. Okay, you know what? I'm happy with that. Actually, if I take out this part, then it looks like it's sitting like right up against the other one. Okay, alright, heck yeah. Again, I love when I do cool shit. So, if you're curious as to why I'm overdrawing these lines, it's because, when I do and I use my erase tool to erase certain parts, they form more pointed corners. Yeah, that's off. So, hold on, let me darken these lines. So basically there's two ways to make points, right? Usually when people think about doing points, I learned this. So usually when people do points, they do points like that. But if you notice, they don't come out like yes, they're pointy, but they're not as pointy as they could be, right? So, a while back, I saw this tutorial of somebody that's like, if you want to make like your points like really pointy, what you do is instead of doing this kind of like backwards like checkmark thing, you take like your line tool, right? Or a ruler or whatever, and what you do is you cross your lines and then you just erase where they meet. Right? So like this point here, you just... I know it's a bit complicated because I have the book, but when you erase it, boom, pointy tip. Same thing here, boom, pointy tip. Pointy tip, pointy tip. So, if you look, the tips come out a bit more pointed than they do when you just do that. So that's why I do it. I'm sure there are other, like, better tricks that you can do for that, by the way, but that's just the one that I remember the most. Like, if that makes sense. Nope. No, that was too much. Also, I saw earlier that, Baby No Money, or BB No Money. I thought it was, BB Nose, for the longest time, but, anyway, that's not the point. But I guess he's quit making music. Because apparently, people don't like his songs, or like some people don't like his songs, and they're like, well, you know, you should stop singing because your songs like suck. And he's just like, all right, I can't take it anymore, I quit. And it's interesting, but it's like also really heartbreaking, because like, even if you're not a fan of like his music, he does do a lot of commissions and like contests for artists to like enter, to like do animations for his music and whatnot. And like, I'll be the first to admit, I am not his biggest fan when it comes to his songwriting, but that's a personal preference to me, okay? And that should not be a reason for him to stop making music. Like, you know, if the world were to tailor to what I liked for everything, then, you know, I don't think a lot of people would be happy with my music choices. But the other thing, too, is he just seems like a genuine dude. I'm hoping it's just one of those things where he'll take like a hiatus, to like kind of recuperate and recover, and then, you know, come back. Oh, also, there's gonna be a whole bunch of new privacy laws coming out in regards to the interwebs. So call your representatives and tell them to vote no. I've been seeing it a lot on Blue Sky, where they're trying to pass these like bills that basically, it's basically like you have to upload your government issued ID to like have access to like YouTube and Spotify, and they're trying to do this in they're trying to say, you know, this is to make, you know, children safer online, and it's just it's another way for the surveillance state to watch you, monitor you, and all that kind of stuff. Also, it's kind of, I don't know if maybe it's just me, but it's kind of interesting to see like a big rise in like what is it? Purity culture? I think that's what it's called. But it's like where you dress like more modestly, and you and like I'm seeing more like social posts about groups that are trying to, you know, petition like payment processors not to take payments in regards to like adult content, but also for like LGBT stuff as well, because that's considered like, you know, not safe for work or not like wholesome. I don't know. It's the entire rise of like wholesome, family-friendly stuff that I'm seeing now. And maybe I'm just noticing it more because I'm in more not safe for work spaces. I don't know. It's to me, it's just kind of like, why are we going back to this? You know? That's not to say that, you know, not safe for work should be plastered everywhere, but like in those spaces, where it's contained, where the community knows where it is, like just leave it alone. Crystals are done. Also, I must BRB. Mainly because I have to pee. I've been drinking way too much soda. So... oh. Enjoy the chill vibes. Chill vibes are my demise. Come on. god. Oh my god. Alright. I'm coming. The little BRB symbol. So who's excited for the new year? And Christmas. Or Yule. Or whatever you celebrate. For the holiday. Did my music just run out? And not, like, refresh? Has it been dead silent this entire time? No, I hear it now. My volume was just turned down super low. Always check your volume, kitties. Fishies, fishies, kitties. Kitties eat fishies. Everybody's a fish. I'm a fish. You're a fish. We're all fish. Fish are friends. And food. I'm sorry. It's just... it's the world we live in. Where did the pen go? My pen evaporated. That sounds like my luck. So I'm not sure if on the book I'm gonna edit the pages to move or not. Like, only by like a couple of pages. I kind of just want to leave it as is and edit and have like stuff around it move, and then maybe have like the sigil and some glowy bits. We'll see though. Also, somebody said something about AI art that really, like, changed, how I think about it. And that is that, the reason why no one can really agree on AI art, it's a loaded topic because, like, artists believe that AI art is not true art, is not real art. We also have that in, holy shit, I just realized something. Hold on, I'll get to my first thought or that realization in a second. But essentially, like, artists are like, AI art is not real art because it's not made by a human. And, you know, I can kind of agree with that definition. But, and then other people are like, well, why is it when an artist references style and takes, you know, stuff they like about other artists, to create their own, you know, like, unique flair, that's okay, but, like, when AI Frankensteins it together, it's suddenly not. And, the way this person went to explain it, or rather not to explain it, but to, but to sort of talk about why it's such a heated and debated topic is because people have two different ways that they see art. There are people that view the process of making art as the art itself. So like for example, the process of drawing all these things by hand, right? And using my eye to guide the lines and, you know, just get things ever so clear, or not clear, but like in a very appealing visual way. Maybe not quite perfection, but like close enough to it, for the final result to be, you know, this beautiful piece of artwork. Like the process is what the art actually is, not the end result. Whereas other people, the people that say AI art is real art, it is the end product that is the art. It is the final piece or drawing and that's what is the art. Right? And so that's why AI art has the hardcore debate that it does, because it's people who view the process of drawing the art as art, and people who view the end result as the art. And in a way, both are right. Because the act of making art is an art in and of itself, you know? Like, people tell me all the time, they wish that they were talented in art like I am, or they wish that, you know, they could draw the way I do. And, you know, I've had art envy myself. Like, I've seen other artists that I'm like, man, I wish I could do art. You know? And when I say that, a lot of people look at me weird because they're like, but you can do art. But when I say I wish I could do art, it's, I wish I could do art the way that I see this other person that does art, because I love their style. And, I had a point, and then I lost it. That sounds like me. That sounds like something that would happen. But in any case, so... Oh, yeah. So anyway, so when people look at me funny and they're like, but you are talented, you can do art. I don't think what most people realize is that on the back end of things, you know, like in your sketchbook, in your, like in your drafts, there is so much of repeating stuff, because that's how, like, I have pages and pages of lines and squiggles and half-drawn drawings and half-drawn, like, practice, because what happened was I started to do it and then I got incredibly frustrated with myself and then I stopped. I don't think a lot of people take into account that that's part of the talent, that's part of the process. Art, some people do have a natural talent for art, like, or in certain aspects of art. Like, I had a friend that could just straight off the bat do line art for, like, anything without a sketch. You know, I've seen, one of my favorite artists, Yoshitani, does art without any line work, like, at all. It's just pure color. But I think the thing that most people miss about that is it's not talent, it's repetition. It's repetition of the same, of the same things over and over and over again. You know, it's not a one and done, you draw the, my thing is so off. Don't know how I feel about it. Actually, we'll do one and we'll go from there. But you know, like, again, it's the repetition. It's drawing hands to the point where you hate yourself. It's drawing shapes over and over and over again from different angles, different perspectives, in different forms. It's building your eye with mindful observation. Which sounds kind of weird and like mystical, but like when you really break it down, all it is you're basically looking at the world around you and you're training your eye to see shapes and patterns. And there are techniques where you don't go immediately to the lines. Sometimes you can look at the shadows and create a picture from the shadows. It's how you what is it, composite negative space to imply an image rather than drawing lines. So like we'll use two examples, right? So like typically when you think of drawing an observation, you think of, oh, there's this box, right? This is a poorly shaped box, but there's this box. So what one person may do is they may see that box and they're like, okay, I have to like draw that box in lines, like pure lines, right? But then another person sees that box and they're like, okay, well, you know, my lines always look a bit wonky. So instead of doing it in lines, why don't I do it in shadow? And so what they do is they use the negative space to imply that the box, I mean, again, that's still lines, but they use the negative space to imply that the box exists. You know, so it's stuff like that. And I think for some people, it's that repetition that they don't want to do, or maybe it's just they don't have the time. Because time is a big factor. Like, art is a very big, like, how should I put it? Like, art is very much its own time sink. Like, you're gonna put in a lot of time and a lot of effort into what you do. And there are some days, you know, you're gonna think that you're God's gift to the world with the things you create, and then there are other days where it's like you can barely draw a straight line correctly. You know? And you're gonna be like, oh my god, why did I even bother picking up a pencil or a pen or a paintbrush or whatever? And there's no in between. Okay. And And then, you know, you'll see other people's art and you're like, oh my god, why am I not like them? Why am I not there yet? And it's one of those things. I've been watching, I showed a friend The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, and there's always a scene that helps me kind of find the courage to keep going, and it's the scene in one of the earlier seasons where Midge is the main character, but essentially she's trying to do like her comedy routine like without being drunk or stoned. So she's trying to essentially hone her act, right? But every time she goes on stage, she bombs, and she bombs hard. She can't keep her setup straight. She can't keep her punchline straight. There's one moment where she hires a comedy writer that basically uses nothing in like her comedy notebook. And she bombs really hard with that. And her and Susie get into like this super huge fight where Susie's like, you bombed and you're gonna continue to bomb. And Midge is like, why the hell would anyone do this if you go up and all you're gonna do is bomb? And then Midge names comics. She's like, you know, Bob Hope doesn't bomb. Lenny Bruce doesn't bomb. And that's when Susie gives her a hard reality check, and she's like, yes, they did bomb. They spent years bombing before they got famous. Honing, you know, what kind of comics they're gonna be. And it's the same thing with any creative medium. Like, you're gonna, maybe not years, but, you know, you're gonna spend months trying to throw shit at the wall to see, like, what sticks. And what's gonna, you know, like, hang in there. And you're gonna see, you know, other people that you feel like, you know, you can't compete with because they're so far ahead of you. And then you're gonna see people who, you know, used to be in the same position you were in, where they're just starting out and they're still trying to, like, find themselves and what they want to do and where they want to go. But unfortunately, bombing's part of the process. Comedy, art, you know, content creation, streaming, being an architect, maybe? I don't know. I actually don't know about that one. But the thing of it is you're not, like, it's gonna take a while. And it's just how it works. And it's accepting that I think is the hard part. It's accepting that there's no instant gratification when it comes to stuff like this. It's you, on your own merit, discovering what you think you can do. Also, those leaves were definitely more pointed than these. This looks more like a fern, so what I'm gonna do is we're gonna go back and we're gonna redo these. See? And again, you don't always get it, again, with this example, you don't always get it perfect the first time. I really should have pulled up my reference. I don't know why I didn't look at it. Thought I could remember it by heart. But yeah. I had to be like, I could just use my imagination. Actually. it's talked about that it's like, you know, the AI bros that are like the super like techie people that are like trying to get, you know, that are just like, well, you know, it's the product at the end that matters, not the like process. But I think it's because they themselves are more creative than they want to admit they are. Like, so my dad, for example, I love my dad. My dad got into like 3D printing, but he tries to 3D print things like coasters, ice cream pint holders, you know, things that people can find useful. And, you know, just what he likes to do. And I tease him all the time. I'm like, you're an artiste. And he's like, what? No, I'm not. And I'm like, yeah, you are. He's like, okay, but like, I'm not actually making the thing. I'm downloading a file somebody else made, and I'm just picking the color. And I'm like, yeah, it's color by number. Or, you know, color however you want to color the thing you want to make. That's still being an artist. Granted, you know, just because I cook cup ramen doesn't suddenly mean I'm a chef, right? Or if I go to the deli and I pick up a pre-made meal from the deli and I come home and I microwave it, like, I'm not gonna be like, oh, you know, I'm a 5-star chef and I'm going to start my own cooking show. Like, no, that's not what that means. Like, you have artistic, you know, tendencies. And if we go back to, like, the deli meal, like, granted, you know, I may not be, you know, a chef that made the entire meal from scratch, but, like, if I want to add stuff to it, like, let's say I want to take the chicken and maybe it's not seasoned, so I add Tony's to it. You know? Like, it doesn't necessarily mean I'm chef quality, but it means that I'm enough of a cook that I can spice up an already pre-made meal. You know? And I think it's important to understand that things like creativity come in all forms, regardless if it's, you know, coding or you know, making computer parts or architecture, or, you know, even just doing what I do, which is making, you know, flyers for my friend's business that I completely rebranded by accident. I remember back when I was a little fishling, or not a little fishling, but like a teenage fishling, and I was in an art, like, history course, and one of my teachers was like, what makes art? Like, what makes something art? And we all had various answers, you know, it's the process, it's the time you put into it, it's, you know, having your art hang in a gallery for people to, like, admire, or a statue for people to, like, you know, see and beautify a space. And my teacher was like, you know, those are all good answers, but that's not what art is. And we were just kind of like dumbstruck, and we were just kind of like, okay, so what is art? And my teacher was like, art is anything that makes you feel something. Regardless of what that feeling is. If it evokes a feeling in you, it's art. So when you think of art in that aspect, in that kind of like, art is everything and nothing at the same time, it really broadens your horizons to what you would consider art. Because, like, deep down, everything had to be designed by somebody. And then somebody else improved upon those designs. And that's how we got that's how we get the life that we got now, is by maybe not necessarily reinventing the wheel from scratch, but, you know, adding upgrades to it, or carving grooves that, you know, make it have better traction. And I think that's important to remember. So, well, on the surface, you know, and how this links back to AI art, if you want to be technical, by that definition, AI art is art because it evokes a feeling. For a lot of artists, it evokes frustration, anger, and hatred because, you know, to do it by hand in the traditional manner, or even in this manner, like even digital art still evokes hatred in like some artists. But now that AI has kind of taken the spotlight, like digital artists I don't think get as much like hate as they used to. I should be drawing and I keep talking. I keep distracting myself. But AI art, you know, by that definition is art. And for people who maybe don't want to necessarily sink in the time to learn, or to constantly, you know, redraw the same things over and over and over again, AI art is, you know, a way to get whatever the end result they want is for instant gratification. You know, which is not saying that that's better, but like, again, we're going back to the, you know, just because you color by number doesn't mean that you're like, you would be considered the equivalent of like an artist that, you know, draws everything by scratch or by hand. Like, even I can't compare, like, I'm starting to get into more traditional art mediums, but I've seen people do crazy things with like oil paints and acrylic and, you know, watercolor and traditional like acrylics that I don't even think I could do, even if I wanted. Or like people that draw realism, I'm just like, holy crap, I wish, you know? Also, I went on a deep dive about NFTs, which is a non-fundable token or non-fudgeable token. I went on this deep dive and I still don't entirely know what NFTs are. But, but I saw a comment of somebody saying NFTs are just AI bros that tried to shoehorn adoptables and failed miserably. And I just can't get that out of my head. I think it's freaking hysterical. I don't know. I guess... Ooh! Hey, Lottie! Thank you for contributing 6,000 points for Dark Souls. Oh, yeah. I keep forgetting to advertise this now that I have more people, more eye holes watching me. God, that's gonna sound so weird out of context. So I'm running a community channel points, challenge where, I am basically asking my community to raise 200,000 channel points if you want me to play Dark Souls Remastered. It was a gift given by a friend who really wanted me to play it after seeing me fight and cry my way through another crab's treasure. Because he just hates me in particular, I guess. But yeah, I'm currently playing Dredge, so this little community points challenge will determine if Dark Souls Remastered will be the next game I play after Dredge. If we don't meet the goal by the end, I should probably go ahead and extend it. The other kind of mini announcement I have is I go in tomorrow to sign paperwork for the new fish market that I'm going to be working at. So that is going to be a full-time gig for me. I'm really excited. That being said, stream's going to get a bit wonky. Just as I try to figure out where they need me, what my schedule is going to be, and that kind of thing. So, yeah. But, what's tomorrow? Tomorrow's Monday, so tomorrow I should definitely be playing more Dredge. I don't think I'll really have anything to get in the way of that. Fish. Oh, you caught something. So yeah, I'm gonna be doing that, and then ooh, you caught a barracuda. Grazie! But, I do promise I am gonna try to return to a more consistent schedule. I have a lot of stuff planned for the new year between my art and, you know, stuff that I want to do for the art business. and streaming. I do have a couple of New Year's resolutions. One is to really ramp up doing my art business and doing prints and stickers in my mail club. And the other is to just be more present and more visible. So, you know, people can see me more. My friend is also trying to kill me. My friend who is commissioning me to do this flyer and the other flyer. So basically, my friend commissioned me to make this flyer and another flyer, and then I asked her today. I was like, hey. Can you, is it alright if I stream me making these flyers? Or rather, me making this one. Because I do plan to have animated elements in it. And, she was like, yeah, sure, no problem. And then she's like, hey, I have a question. I was like, okay. And she's like, hey, so I'm looking to get like a display banner or like another banner to add more decoration for my, my booth. I was like, okay, yeah, you know, like that shouldn't be a problem. She's like, okay, well, if I get a display banner, it's gonna be like 10 by 7 feet. And I'm like, huh? What the hell did you say? And she's like, yeah, it's gonna be, you know, it's a display banner for decoration. And it's gonna be 7 to 10 feet, you know, like tall, like big. And I'm like, uh-huh. And what exactly do you want me to do? And she's like, I want you to design it. I want you to design the artwork for it. And I was like, oh god. I've never made anything that big. And she's like, but I believe in you. And I'm like, you really fucking shouldn't. You really fucking shouldn't. And she's like, what the hell? And I'm like, what do you mean, what the hell? Shouldn't I be asking what the hell? And she's just like, okay, first off, you can't be mad, because over the years, you're like, trust, I know what's best. And I'm like, yeah? And she's like, so I'm trusting you to know what's best. And I'm like, so let me get this straight. You want me to design a display banner that's 10 feet tall by 7 feet wide? And she's like, yes. And I'm like, I'm gonna fucking strangle you, because there ain't no fucking way. And she's like, come on, you can do it, I believe in you. I was just like, oh, I don't know. Oh, I feel pain. But she's like, I don't even know if I'm gonna go with the display banner. And I'm like, well, what else are you considering? So she was like, she was talking about getting a vertical banner, getting another table display banner, replacing her other table display banner. I was like, well, okay, if you're gonna replace your table display banner, like, we gotta update your stuff. And she's like, so then it was my turn to be like, she's like, what do you mean we gotta update, you know, my display stuff? And I'm like, well, your logo needs an upgrade. And she's like, what? And I was like, yeah. She's like, but I love my logo. Why does my logo need to be updated? And I'm like, because it's giving fresh out of college. And we're trying to be professional. We're trying to be the corporate girly we always dreamed we could be. And she was like, but it's okay, there's nothing wrong with it. And I'm like, again, fresh out of college. Like, we're not small town no more. And she's like, but you're basically asking me to do an entire rebrand. And I'm like, it's not a rebrand. Per se, we're just putting on a fresh coat of paint and some makeup. Like, Homegirl is part of the corporate world. Homegirl needs a corporate makeover. And my friend is just like, no, I don't wanna replace her. And I'm like, alright, how about this? How about we talk about it in like a few-ish years? And we come back. Gotta get ready for work. I'll leave a lurk though. No problem, Lottie. Thank you for joining stream. We appreciate you. Always forget, vector lines get extremely wonky after you try to like erase shit. Okay, so you go away, you go away, you go away. But yeah, my friend's just like, why would you want to update my logo? Why would you want to do this? And I'm like, because she needs the win. Alright? I've been back, was just drying my locks. No worries, no worries. We appreciate you. I have to figure out how to erase this and keep everything the same. That's the wrong layer for that. That's not the layer I wanted. One day I'll get it right. It won't be today, but one day. Yeah, no, it's funny. I sent a gif of Sandy dragging Patrick to my friend, to Yin, essentially, of just us trying to like drag each other into like impossible things that we know we need to do to like grow and expand and, you know, be more amazing than what we are now, but at the same time we're both like oddly horrified by the whole thing. She's like, I'm dragging you to create a mini billboard and you're dragging me into updating my my banner and logo. And I'm like, yeah, but you know, as long as we do it together, that's all that matters. I'm like, I'm still gonna beat the crap out of you if you make me design this. Cause the other thing that was funny about it is she was just like, do you think we could have it done by like February? And I'm like, honey, we're in mid-December and I know you. And she's like, what's that supposed to mean? I'm like, I know how picky you are. And I know you, for whatever reason, won't let me cut fucking corners, alright? It's gonna take us, like, all of January to probably agree on something if you need this by February. Which, I do appreciate that my friend, like, quality checks me. As weird as that sounds, because, because, like, you need a friend that's willing to, like, do that. Is willing to, like, is willing to help you, you know, and not cut corners and, you know, be the high quality self she always knew you could be. At the same time, though, it's the most frustrating thing. I'm like, just let me do it. Just let me cut corners. And she's like, no, you're not allowed. And I'm like, but please! You're killing me! Not really, but, you know. Oh, god damn it. Come on. What the fuck? Why is this so difficult? Oh, come on. Why are we having issues today? You never have issues any other time of the day. Just for whatever reason you want to have issues right now. Crap. Yep. I had a feeling that was gonna happen. Oh, well, you know what? I'm not gonna worry about it. I will recolor the line art later. I don't know. It's espresso, you know? Coffeezilla. I said I'm hip. God, The Iron Giant was such a good movie. Oh, so recently I saw the clip where Mansley orders the, like, if you haven't seen this movie, spoilers, but also this movie is like 10 plus years old, so. But basically, Mansley, he's like this dude that works for the CIA that gets like assigned to watch Hogarth and his family because this like alien robot pieces bits, landed in the town, and then they figure out that like Hogarth has been talking to the robot, and it's this whole thing. But that's not the point. Anyways, so it gets to a point where like the general's in town and he's trying to decide if he should launch the nukes or not, and he decides to like withhold his fire, but Mansley, in a panic of seeing the Iron Giant, is like, no, shoot! And so what happens is he grabs the walkie-talkie from the general and orders the like sub to like shoot the nukes, and the sub does. And the general looks at Mansley and points out, Mansley? And Mansley's like, yeah. He's like, why did you fire the nukes to the Giant's location? And Mansley was like, well, you know, we need to destroy the Iron Giant. And the general's like, okay, where is it? And the Iron Giant's like literally in the center of town. And so Mansley, you know, freaks out, and he's like, you mean the nuke's gonna drop here? Like, in town? And the general's like, yes, we are all going to die for our country. And Mansley's like, screw our country, I want to live! And then, like, tries to run off like he didn't do anything wrong. And what's interesting about it is the comment section where somebody's like, I often wonder what happened to Mansley after this, because the spoiler alert, the end of the movie is the Iron Giant sacrifices himself to blow up the nuke while it's like en route to space. So that way the explosion doesn't cause, you know, like nuclear fallout, and he becomes, you know, like a Superman figure, saving everybody. And it's funny because the comments are like, whatever happened to Mansley after this? And somebody pointed out, well, he was in the CIA and he tried to run from his country. So likely they just took him out to the woods, ended him, and then completely scrubbed his existence off of the face of the earth. And that, like, this little tidbit has somehow become, like, a headcanon in the, like, fandom. Also, apparently there was a Chuck E. Cheese fandom for like the 2000 like redesigned Chuck E. Cheese characters, and I'm like, you know what? I don't know where this brick came from, but I'm here for it. I vibe with it. So yeah, it's been an interesting like few days. Also, I just realized doing this commission on stream means I have to wait for approval before I continue. I probably should have really, like, pre-prepped all this and gotten approval before I started doing stuff, but it's okay. Which makes me kind of wonder how other artists do stream commissions. Like, do they, like, is it where they just kind of do it and then, you know, they get approval for, like, changes and stuff afterward? Does the client join stream and they give, like, real-time updates? Like, you know, how does that work? Mansley was put into a cell with Diddy, confirmed. I may actually have to redo this herb cluster. We'll see. Because I know in the original it looked a bit, It was a bit more chaotic, and this one's a bit more straight-laced. I don't know. Like, I'm kind of concerned that my pen nibs for my, my pen nibs for my pen are wearing down so quickly. So I learned that for over a year, I hadn't actually been drawing on the paper-esque safety screen that I had for my tablet. I had been drawing on the safety film you use to put the screen on the tablet. And so, like, when the safety screen was like, hey, this is paper, it's supposed to feel like paper, I was like, wow, this is the smoothest paper I had ever, like, felt before. And then I peeled it off because I was having issues with my tablet not registering stuff. And my friend was like, oh, you know, it's probably the pen nib. The pen nib's been worn down. And, you know, you want to replace those often. And I'm like, really? Because I've used the same pen nib for the past, like, 3-4 years now. And he was just like, oh my god. I was like, yeah, it's you know, like the standard pen nib. I was like, and you haven't changed it once. And I'm like, no, it's never like worn down, never had any issues. I'm wondering if I need to get weed whacker wire. Because I remember there was a hack that I think on the older pens, someone was like, you can take weed whacker wire and you can sand it to a nib and then you can use that to draw and it lasts so much longer. Did you make the classic blunder of not removing the screen protector? I plead the 8th. The 5th. I plead the 5th. Huh. I'm gonna be honest. I might get some weed whacker wire and use that shit. You plead no cruel and unusual punishment? Yes. I plead no cruel and unusual punishment. Is that the 8th? Alright, I'll be honest, I don't really have much more in me to, like, do more line stuff. Wrong thing. But look at how far we got. Alright. I got the big glass bird. I got the bottles. I got the crystals. And I got the little herb bundle. So I'd say I did pretty good tonight. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go order weed whacker wire. Get weed whacker wire and then use the surface of the of my screen protector tablet to like wear that motherfucker into shape. And we'll call it Gucci. Actually, can you use weed whacker wire? Hold on, I'm looking this up. Yeah, trimmer line. Yeah, I'm doing that. For $8? For $8, you can get a 275-foot roll of wire. And that's the equivalent of like 3,000 nibs of like pen. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna try that so you don't have to. Please. For the love of God, do your own research. Just because I'm doing it doesn't mean you should. But with that being the case, and forewarning everybody, what am I gonna do? I know I lied and said we were gonna do animation tonight and did not get there. But I do have thoughts. I do have thoughts about what I'm gonna make move. So there's that. But we're gonna go right into somebody. Who are we raiding into? Ooh. Art. Lots of art people. Is there anybody I'm following that I haven't raided into? I have a DJ person that's live right now. We could go right into him. Who wants to party with techno music? Anybody? Anybody? Anybody want to party with techno music? She's doing it, everyone do the same. No, don't. Yeah, let's go. Demonically inspired with Jean Summers. Yeah, let's go. Let's go check out the rave. Cause I know Aries rated into me doing stuff, so we should rate into him. He's preparing stuff, he's starting soon. Let's go show Aries some love from the abyss. And then I will be back tomorrow night with some Dredge. So I hope everybody has had a fun time. I've really appreciated the community being here. I hope y'all have a good whenever, and I will see everybody tomorrow.